In fact, it was at a kitchen party that I first heard about Biggie Gallagher. Well, Biggie would be my grandfather's cousin on his father's side. He comes from over there in Port Hawkesbury, Cape Breton. And the only thing you need to know about Biggie is that he's a lot like a knife. He's sharp on one side and dull on the other, and you never know which side you're going to get. Well, the story, as it was told to me, involved Biggie waking up one morning. He turned to his wife and he said, "What's for supper?" Or what's for supper? What's for breakfast? He sleeps late, huh? What's for breakfast? And she says, "Nothing." He said, "What do you mean, nothing?" She said, "Biggie, you lost your job. We've no food in the pantry and no money in our pockets. So unless you intend to sell that there milking cow out in the yard, there's nothing for breakfast." Well, Biggie really wasn't interested in selling that cow. It was a prize winner. On the other hand, with a name like Biggie, you know he didn't want to go without breakfast. So, a few minutes later, he finds himself out in the yard with a cord wrapped around the cow's neck and walking into town. And who should he run into on the way into town? But the town's mayor. And the mayor says, "Good morning, Mr. Gallagher. How are you today?" And Biggie said, "Well, Your Honor," he said, "I don't know if you heard," he said, "but I lost my job. And the wife told me if I didn't sell this here cow, well, I wasn't having anything for breakfast." The mayor said, "Biggie, you're selling that cow? I didn't think you'd ever let her go. How much you want for it?" Biggie said, "I don't know, $50. The mayor said, "Sold." He goes, "Here's $50. He said, "But Biggie, I'm on my way to see some constituents, so I'm going to need you to take it home for me." Biggie said, "Okay." So down the road he goes. And who should he bump into? Not 10 minutes later, the town's doctor. And the doctor says, "Biggie, how are you?" Biggie said, "Well, Doc," he said, "don't know if you heard," he said, "but I lost my job, and the wife told me if I didn't sell this here cow, I wasn't going to have anything for breakfast." And the doctor said, "Biggie, you're selling that cow?" He said, "How much does a cow like that go for?" "Well, $50. "Sold, Biggie, I'll take it." And Biggie said, "Well, hold on, Doc." And the doctor said, "Biggie, you named your price, let's not negotiate here now. Here's $50 cash money, but I'm on my way to see some patients, so I'm going to need you to take it home for me." He said, "Okay." And down the road he goes. Well, it wasn't 10 minutes later. And who should he bump into? The town's priest. The priest says, "Biggie Gallagher, how are you today?" He said, "Well, Father," he said, "I don't know if you heard," he said, "but I lost my job. And the wife told me if I didn't sell this here cow, I wasn't going to have anything for breakfast." The priest said, "I can't believe, Biggie, you're selling that cow." He says, "How much does a cow like that go for?" Biggie said, "Well, most people are paying $50. And the priest said, "All right," he said, "I'll take it." So he gave him $50. He said, "But listen, I'm on my way to see some parishioners. I'm going to need you to take it home for me." Biggie said, "Okay." So down the road he goes. And it wasn't long before he walks into his own yard. His wife is there waiting for him. She sees him with the cow. She says, "Biggie, what are you doing back here so soon? And why do you still have the cow?" She said, "Well, you're not going to believe it," he says. "I was on my way into town." He said, "I sold that cow to 3 different people. I got $150 in my pocket and I still have the cow." She said, "Biggie, you can't do that. You can't sell the same cow to 3 different people. You're going to be in trouble with the law. We need to get a lawyer." Well, they called the lawyer in, and when he heard the story, he fell over laughing. He had heard some stories about Biggie before, but this took the cake. Well, after he got over his initial laugh, he said, "All right, Biggie," he said, "you're in trouble." He said, "You can't do that. You can't sell the same cow 3 times. He said, "But I have a plan, but you're going to have to do exactly what I say." Biggie said, "You just tell me what to do, I'll do it." He said, "All right, when they come to see you, they're going to have some questions. They're going to want their money or their cow. So as soon as they start speaking to you, I want you to respond in the same way. So when they ask you a question, I just want you to say, diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee, diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee-dee-dum." Can you do that, Biggie? Biggie said, "Oh, I can do that, no problem." So the next morning, the lawyer got there nice and early, and when the first knock came, it was the lawyer that opened the door. And there was the mayor, irate. "Where's Biggie Gallagher? I gave him $50 for a cow, and I don't have the cow, and I don't have the money, and I want one or the other now." And the the lawyer said, Your Honor, he said, I understand you're upset. He said, but listen, there's something wrong with Biggie. Maybe you should talk to him. Well, just then, who walks into the room? Biggie Gallagher. The mayor couldn't help himself. Biggie, where's my cow? Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee. Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee-dee-dum. Well, when the mayor heard that, he thought, oh my God, there is something wrong. What would people think, me taking money from one of my constituents and him not well like that? He turned to the lawyer, he said, listen, you tell Biggie to keep the money and not worry about the cow, but don't you tell anybody I was here. And out the door he went. Well, it wasn't 5 minutes later, there's another knock at the door. And the lawyer opens the door, and who is it? The doctor. He said, where is Biggie Gallagher? Imagine, I thought we were friends. I gave him $50 for a cow, and I want the cow or the money right now. The lawyer said, doctor, thank goodness you're here. He said, there's something wrong with Biggie. He's not right in the head. Maybe you could talk to him, see what's wrong with him. Well, just then, Biggie walks into the room. The doctor couldn't help himself. Biggie, where's my money? Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee. Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee-dee-dum. Well, when the doctor heard that, he thought, oh my goodness, he said, I'm a doctor of the body, I can't fix the mind. What if people think I caused this? No, I've got to get out of here. Lawyer, listen, you tell Biggie not to worry about the money and not to worry about the cow, but don't you tell a soul I was here. And out the door he went. You all know what's coming now, right? 10 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. And who was it? The priest. And when the door opened, there was the lawyer. And the priest said, where is Biggie Gallagher? Imagine that man taking advantage of the church. He said, I bought a cow for $50 and I want the cow delivered or I want the $50 right now. And the lawyer said, Father, he said, look, I'm really sorry about all this. He said, but there's something wrong with Biggie. You need to talk to him. Well, just then, who walks into the room? Biggie Gallagher. The priest couldn't help himself. Biggie, where's that cow? Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee. Diddly-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, diddly-dee-dee-dum. Well, when the priest heard that, he thought, what would people think of me taking advantage of one of my parishioners like that? He said, it won't do. He said, lawyer, he said, you tell Biggie to keep the cow and keep the money and not to worry about anything. And don't tell a soul I was here. And out the door he went. Well, as soon as that door closed, the lawyer started laughing. Biggie's wife walked into the room. She was laughing. The lawyer said, you know, I know it was my plan, he said, but I really didn't think it would work. And just then Biggie walked in. And he said, well, Biggie, he said, it worked. He said, my job here is done. All we need to do is take my pay and I'll be off. Biggie said, no. He said, what do you mean, no? He said, did you hire me to do a job? He said, yes. Well, did I do the job? Oh, yes. He said, you did a fantastic job. I didn't think it would work. Well, then why won't you pay me? Diddly-dum. Well, that's just one story about Biggie Gallagher. I have some others, and maybe.